Hey there, gang. Recently, a lot of people have asked me, am I going to join Team Spider-Man or am I going to join Team Into the Omenpaths? And I've responded the same way to all of them. I refuse to join any club that would have me as a member. Let's play some end games. Friends, opponents, people who forgot that there's a cowboy set in Standard and you can still see those cards, welcome to Head Games Arena. My name is Jetterex and today we're playing Spider-Man Joins Up. And by that, of course, I mean we are playing a BANT Legends Matter list built around the card Kellan Joins Up. This 3-mana BANT enchantment reads when it enters, you may essentially plot a card that costs 3 or less, which means you can then cast that card at a later turn as a sorcery for free. It also reads when a legendary creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So we are playing a Legends Matter list. All the creatures are legendary, so all the creatures with this card out are going to make each other bigger. The trick comes with Cren or Miles Morales. So the front half of this is just a 1/2 that puts a counter on up to 2 creatures. The back half is a absolute beast. 4/3 first strike haste. You can pay 2 generic to put a counter on it to make it hexproof and colorless, which is a reference to Miles' ability to kind of turn invisible. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense on this card though. When you attack, double the number of counters on each spider and legendary creature you control. So all of our creatures get counters from Kellan Joins Up. If we then get Cren, he's doubling those counters. And it's really just, it can take over a game by itself. If you have other creatures, it's remarkable, but by itself, it's still very good. So to make our Legends Matter deck work, we're playing Legends at all the different mana values. Down in the 1-drop spot, Zac Fair is just a 1-mana 0/1, gives itself a counter. You can sacrifice it to protect a creature and to move its counters. So it works as a kind of a sneaky combat trick on a legendary body. Zora is a Soul Sister, gains you life whenever creatures enter, but also gives a counter to any spider that enters, and there are a number of legendary spiders in the list. Not a lot, but enough to make this valuable. Cren is a spider, so this is really why this is still in here. 3 copies of Ademi as a flash 2-mana spider human that could protect your team. 3 copies of Torgal, a fine hound. This doggo is a mana dork that puts a counter on the first human that you cast each turn, and there's a lot of legendary humans in the list, including Makti and Itla. This is a 2-mana 2/2 flyer that reads artifacts and creatures your opponent control enter tap, so this slows our opponents down, gets their blockers out of the way. In the 3-drop spot, we've got 2 copies of Jill. This returns a permanent of our opponents to their hand. It's really why it's here, is just that bounce effect. I haven't gotten it to do the back half of it very often, but I do think it's beneficial. Kutsil draws at least 1 additional card if one of our creatures that has a bigger power, so counters work with this. But it also makes it so your opponents can't cast spells during your turn, which makes combat easier to manage. Sarah Farron is kind of a ramp piece, but then also a buff piece when you flip it to the back half. 2 copies of Dion, Bahamut's Dominant. This 4-mana 3/3 makes it 2/2 when it enters, so you just get a lot of bodies that are flying and get counters on them. At the top, Kuminosu the Watchful, 5-mana 4/4, puts a counter on a creature, then modified creatures, read here creatures that have counters, draw you cards when they do combat damage. So we've also got 2 copies of Seam Rip and 4 copies of Get Lost as our kind of catch-all removal to keep us in the game. The deck is so much better than it looks. Obviously, it can struggle sometimes if you don't have the right pieces, but when you do have the right pieces, it's very difficult for your opponent to kind of deal with all of the various things that they have to deal with. So I'm actually a huge fan of this deck. It's worked out a lot better than I expected to. This is a homebrew of mine, so I'm pretty proud of how we did today. So before we head over into the gameplay, I'd like to invite everybody to please like, subscribe, leave some comments down below, tell your friends about the channel. We appreciate all of your time and your attention. Thank you as always for watching. Let's play some head games. Game 1, Spider-Man Joins Up. This is a BANT Legends Matter list. We've got the combo in hand. Kellan Joins Up and Cren is a very, very powerful start. Seam Rip to get rid of an early threat. Makti and Itla to slow down our opponent. Definitely keepable. So we're playing this multiversal passage on white, right? Okay, multiversal passage on white. It can enter tapped. Well, hello, friendly opponent. You get a Fleam. Valley Might Caller is very, very scary. So, kind of a $10,000 question here. Do I I think I play Makti here, right? Because it makes whatever they play next come in tapped, and then they're gonna try to attack me with my collar. I think that's fine. Let's play the spider. I might not, like, if they threaten me, I honestly might, like, I might not block, is what I'm saying, because, like, I really want my creatures to stick around. Beauregard Mentor for our opponent, enters tapped, makes the Might Caller a 2/2. They're about to decide, and the answer is no, they don't want to attack. So from here, I have a couple of different options, and they're all good. Because I have so many Crens, I can seam rip something and Cren, and then Kellan joins up later. I think I'm gonna Kellan joins up now. I think I can outrun my opponent. I think I can, remarkably, against this rabbit deck. Okay, so we're going to plot Cren, and we will... I don't think we're going to threaten to block, because I'm not going to block. So, there's no way I'm block. I want Makti because it gets bigger. Valley Quest Caller for our opponent, enters tapped. 7 damage to us. Okay. We'll start with Cren of the Spider Brood. Then we will play Cren Undercity Dreamer. We'll put additional counters on both of our guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That goes to 12. Is that enough? Math is hard. Oh, it's Xerxes! Yes! Spider-Man joins up, y'all. That's what it's like. Game 2, Spider-Man joins up. We're 1-0 so far. We had a great start. This is not a great hand, though. I do have 2 interactive spells early in the game, and Sarah Farron does make Kuminosu much cheaper. I mean, it's a playable hand for sure. It's just not as explosive as the last one. Maybe we draw into a Kellan joins up and have a little fun. Our opponent has a Moogle. Okay, so Cavern of Souls, I honestly think I'm gonna bin it, and let's see if I end up hurting myself for this. Yep. So the reason Cavern of Souls is so tricky is because you can't use it to cast Kellan joins up. So you can't play Kellan joins up on 3 in any situation where that's what's happening. We're going to play Multiversal Passage on blue. We're going to have it enter tapped, and we're going to seam rip that miner. It's the right target for seam rip, because really miner is kind of an engine for them, and if they're playing skeletons, it's going to end up doing us a great deal of damage. Yep, there's Case of the Stash Skeleton. So now they're probably going to have removal for Sarah Farron, but she is still the right play. She is. Hasty Skeleton, sheltered by Ghost on your token. Fascinating. Very interesting. So this is Menace, Lifelink, Ward 2. Okay. Remember that I can hit the shelter by Ghost. I don't actually have to hit the creature. Alright, let's get a Hushword Verge down, and I think we unfortunately just have to pass here. Opponent gets in for 3, we're going to take it. Take out the skeleton, get Sarah Farron back. Pretty excellent. Play an island. We'll play Kumanosu. Give Sarah Farron a counter. Get in for 3. Draw a card. Torgal is a very interesting play here. I don't think they're going to play with sweepers in this deck, so I'm going to get the Torgal down now. I don't have the mana to cast the backside of Cren here, which is a little sad, but that's okay. Forsaken Miner for our opponent, can't block. Sheltered by Ghosts again, targets Kumanosu. Map token on the miner. Authority of the Consuls on top. Got it. Okay, they bend the authority? Okay, miner's a 4-3. Yeesh. So it can't block, right? So I think the move here is Cren. Counter, counter. We're not gonna flip. We're gonna get in for 7. I think we just play Urban Retreat here and say go. We are into the mid-game, friends. I think we have a more explosive end game than they do if they're playing the Orzhov skeleton list. Best card in your deck, what is it? United Battlefront. Cool. And you get a spider creature. Fascinating. Okay. Okay. Whew. Are they going to get got by Ademi? They are not going to get got by Ademi. That's fine. Okay, Sarah Farron number 2. I think we transform now. Get in for 5. And then it gets double strike. Interesting. Okay. I have not seen a most helpful Weaver in this kind of deck. Okay, when this enters, create a Wicked Roll attached to target creature you control, beginning of your draw step. Okay. Wicked Roll goes on. The spider. Land was a terrible draw for us. Oh gosh, very bad. I probably should have kept the pressure on. Yeah. Yeah. So what's underneath this now? Kumanosu and another Sarah Farron? Yeah. This gives our creatures indestructible, right? You can gain all the life you want, friend. Give me all my stuff back. Give himself the counter. Flip Cren. No need to transform. We'll just get in with these two, I think. Oh, I could have threatened lethal. Draw. And draw. Land for turn, surveil. We'll leave Get Lost on top. That's it. Think we've got him, folks. All right. What a match. Good game. Game 3, Spider-Man joins up. Cren joins up. BANT Legends Matters. Okay, we've got Kellan joins up and Jill. So we've got a lot of interaction in this hand, and we are on the play. So not terrible at all. Let's keep. And we're going to get the starting towns out just to make sure that they don't end up stuck in our hand. I have a tendency to play other lands first, and then I end up not having what I need, which is really not great. Forest and Paw Patch. Okay, second starting town, I suppose. We'll say go. Keen-eyed Curator for our opponent. Do we hit the Paw Patch here? Because it's really a pain in the butt. We do. Because it really is such a pain in the butt to get around that later. So, okay. Hushwood Verge means now we get to cast Kellan Joins Up. Hurts us a little, but I think we're okay. We're going to tuck Jill under the Kellan Joins Up. Our opponent is the Bargler. Yeah, you can exile our stuff. It means absolutely nothing to us. Put some counters on your Curator. You got it. Ouroboros is pretty scary. Spyglass Siren for our opponent. Cool. Gets in for 4. So we Multiversal Passage, probably on white. It is the color we use the most in this deck. And really we're only casting 1 spell this turn. We're casting 2, but one of them is free. So let's get this down on white tapped. We will cast Malamet Exemplar. Gives itself a counter. We will play Jill. Putting the Keen-eyed Curator back in your hand. Our opponent's got the 4th land for Ouroboros. We get to destroy it on our turn and probably draw some cards. Okay, Spyglass Siren gets bigger. Don't attack. That is a mistake, friend. We will start with Get Lost on Ouroboros. Then we will attack for 8. Draw 2 cards. Draw 1. Kutzel only draws you 1. Okay. Serapharin. Everybody gets bigger. Who's got the Get My Stuff Bigger Better deck? Is it us? It might not be. Ouroboros Mark II. Okay. Your creatures still aren't big enough. I'm afraid your creatures still aren't big enough. Okay, so I'm not sure that I can win, but I can definitely threaten to kill them. Alright. Kellan gives everybody a counter. Kuminosu puts it on Jill. Zach gives everybody a counter. I think that does it. Zach is so good in this deck. Ooh, Zach is so good in this deck. put the counters on Sarah. Did I just miss lethal? No. They would have been at 1. Draw 2 cards. Ouroboros number 3 for our opponent. Paw Patch Recruit. Yep, good game, friend. We weren't gonna play with our food there. We were just gonna get them, but that's it. Game 4 with Spider-Man joins up. Cren joins up our BANT Legends Matter deck. Okay, we've got mana to cast Kellan joins up on 3, so that's not bad. It's tricky because Zach Fair later in the game is so incredibly good because it comes in, gives itself a counter, gets another counter from Kellan joins up, and then can transfer the counters at instant speed, so it's kind of a pump spell, which makes me not want to play it. Anyway, let's keep 7. I think Zach just dies, right? Let's play the Multiversal Passage on green and say go. Ooh, that is not what you want to see. So this is probably a Kona list. I'm going to struggle to not just die very quickly. We are now going to play Zach Fair and say go. Players can't cast more than 1 spell a turn. You got it. I will play an island, and I will play my 1 spell for turn. This is Kellan joins up. I'm going to tuck Cren and attack for 1. Dredger's Insight for our opponent. Gets their land. Also puts an Esper down there and a Summon Bahamut. Did they get a land? They did. They did. You just grab Evando. Grab the Cavern. Which means you... Okay. Surveil 1. Yeah, we're in trouble. Okay, 4th land for us. We will play Cren. Gives everybody counters. So, I kind of feel like going from 2 to 4 here might be the way to go. Because I cannot imagine them having 2 removal spells. If I would have transferred that, could I have won? I don't think so. And that's it. Opponent says Avatar, Overlord of the Mistmoors, gives them 2 blockers, which is very good for them. We'll add counters because there's no reason not to. So they just have to individually block here, or they die. Because both of these become lethal threats. So I think the answer here is Kutzel. We get our attack in. You block and you block. I guess now that I'm thinking about it, the Kutzel might not have made any sense there. It may have made more sense to leave up the mana for Cren to protect itself. Was that good enough? Yuna reanimates Bahamut. Yeah. Yep. It destroys, right? Destroy. Yep. So it's the same thing. He gets 2 more. So he doesn't get big enough to tangle with Bahamut at this point. So what's the move? Opponent has to block with either Yuna or Bahamut. 3 doubles to 6, and then it does trade. So all I have to do is play a creature here. So I think the creature is Maktianitla. Adds counters. We'll get in an attack. Our creatures are now big enough to trade with yours. Yep. Yuna down. Bahamut down. And the turn. Our opponent's keeping up with us, there's no question. It's funny because Maktianitla means that if they play Kona, it's just tapped. Overlord of the Mistmoors enters tapped. Their creatures enter tapped. That is it! Oh, I can't believe we beat that deck! Wow. We are on to game 5 with Cren joins up, our BANT Legends Matter deck. We are on the draw. We've got our namesake card, which I'm feeling pretty okay about. Torgal into Ademi is also decent, so we can seam rip on one if we have to, but we can also play Urban Retreat and play kind of a more mid-rangey game there. See what our opponent's up to. Ruin Lurker Bat. Howdy from our opponent. Let's give him the Fleam. We'll play the Urban Retreat. I'm not going to seam rip the Bat. I want the seam rip for what comes next. That. Okay, starting town for us. Seam rip the Pridemate. Let's hope this keeps us in the game long enough to not die. Here we have Cavern of Souls, meaning we can't play Kellan joins up on 3. This is exactly what I was talking about. Linden's a pretty good card. Multiversal Passage means I do get to play Kellan joins up. I don't have any removal, so I don't have to play cautiously. We're going to play Kellan joins up. And we're going to play Kutsil under there. Doesn't go under it. It goes into Plot Town. It goes into plot device territory. I love this card, by the way. Kutsil Malamet Exemplar. Love it in Commander. Love it in Standard. Very cool card. I'm super excited that I've been able to make a +1/+1 counters deck do something. It's always something that kind of feels like it can be really tough to make it work. Okay, Sheltered by Ghost takes Seam Rip? Yeah, alright. It's not good for us. Yep. Lots of life. Lots of life. Yep. Okay. So, now we can play... We don't have to play the Cavern of Souls, so we're not going to. So let's get Kutsil down. Let's get Torgal down. The Pridemate gets so incredibly big here. Sure. So they're not going to get in with Linden here. Are you serious? They're both gonna die, right? So it doesn't matter. Seam Rip comes back and takes the Pride Mate. I need to not draw a land. Literally anything else would probably be okay. Torgal will do. Okay, Cavern on human. New Torgal. Pass the turn. Okay. Yep. Okay. Guys are 3/3. Alright, we will flash in Ademi. Give it flying. And block your bat. Dion is a hot draw. Yeah, we want the tokens to enter first. Tokens. I keep thinking it's more than one token. It would be absurd if it was more than one. 42 life and they bailed. Game 6 with Cren joins up, our BANT Legends Matter list. We are on the play. We've got Zora into Torgal into Kellan. We need to draw something to put under him. So in this case, I think I'm actually just going to get Urban Retreat down first. Totally keepable hand. Let's keep it moving. Opponent's got one of our favorite Final Fantasy characters on their sleeves. That's Squall from Final Fantasy VIII. Which, after the popularity of 7 years and years ago, ask me how my old ass knows. 8 seemed like it seemed like it wasn't as, amazing as 7. I mean, the graphics were a little bit better. The gameplay was interesting. Okay, Llanowar for our opponent. Plains for us and Torgal, who, if you didn't know, is a fine hound. Okay. Mossborn Hydra for our opponent. Excellent. Okay, so that means we've got 4 mana if we need it. We have to take out the Hydra now. I'm actually tempted to not do anything here. So I think I could play Zora. I'm just not sure that it does anything. All right, let's get Zora down, and then we can get in for 2. I'm a little sketchy against this list, to be honest. Like they do. I got rid of the Mossborn Hydra, which is that's really significant. Tifa's a real threat as well. We're gonna put some map tokens on Tifa. Let's draw our Seam Rip as soon as we can. Let's draw our Seam Rip as soon as we can. We're going to put this on green. We are going to pay the life. Oh no. Problem here is that if we Kellan joins up and put Ademi under it, maybe cast as a sorcery on a later turn, so I can't flash it in if I do that. So it may make more sense to play Kellan joins up and hold Ademi. It may also make a lot of sense to just get Dion down. All right. This is tough. We know how explosive our opponent's deck is. Traveling Chocobo. Saz's Chocobo. Plays a fetch. Plays a fetch land. Or doesn't. Misses a land drop. Okay, Evolving Wilds is remarkably fine. Yeah, you got it. So is she too big for me to... Do I just die? Oh, yeah. Yep. There it is, folks. There's our first loss. Tifa is a beast. Alright folks, this is it. Game 7 with Cren joins up against our Fleam enthusiast opponent. Got 2 Crens, an Ademi, a Seam Rip, and a Get Lost. Lands to play them. I don't love being on the draw, but I think we can keep this hand. Let's draw some lands. Let's draw into a Kellan joins up. And go out with a bang. Blue for our opponent. We'll play Urban Retreat. We will play, let's get the starting town down and say go. We're going to flash in Ademi on their end step and then try to get Cren down. Looks like our opponent's probably playing control here, so let's see what they think about Ademi. I'm going to guess that's a counterspell. No? Removal? Okay. I don't hate that. Still not doing great. Let's get the starting town down. I think we play Cren here. Counters on these two. Attack for 4. Artifacts. Elspeth's Smite. Yeah, that'll do. Dang. Don't love that. I do love that. Let's get in with Cren. Got another Smite. Not on my watch. Exiles attacking creature. Sarah Farron. Ademi on your end step. Ademi gets a counter. Okay. So here's the thing. Cren doesn't get any counters. So weirdly enough, I think I have to play Zora here. And just attack for 2. This is not a good showing. Like, here we are playing against control, trying very hard not to die. If they kill, yeah. Oh, I really don't want to scoop, but I have pretty sure that I have lost at this point. Yep. Don't love that. We'll play a creature, any creature, right into a counterspell. You go ahead. Our opponent did not have a response. I cannot believe that. All right, Multiversal Passage. We're going to play it on white. We'll just leave it tapped. The only thing that has kept us in this game is the fact that our opponent has been a little land screwed. Otherwise, they have entirely outclassed us. Consult the stars for our opponent. And they get their 5th land. It feels very bad to do this. I guess I can flip it later. Get in for 4. Draw a card. We'll get Zach Fair down. And say go. Okay, so can I sneak out a win here? So if I put the counter, I don't have a land. Okay, that makes my decision easier, I think. We'll put the counter on Brazil. Okay. So we just get in for 5. So if I play Torgal, it feels like it's 100% into a... Like, it feels very much like I'm playing into a board wipe. Yeah. I mean, I am. I'm playing into a board wipe, but I just don't see another option here. There it is. Board wiped out deck. They're out here killing it. Here comes Cren. He has haste. How many Krens have I gone through? Just 2 or 3? 3. Not great. I mean, we're playing against board wiped out deck here. Did you just allow me to untap? How many do you have? Have you seen Cren of the Spider Brood before? Have you seen Miles Morales? Do you know what it does? Because it's incredibly good. Yes! Amazing. All right, friends and opponents, how did we do today? We landed on a 6-1 record with this deck, which I gotta tell you, even based on the success I was having before I started recording, is truly impressive. We had some excellent matchups against some fairly common and top-tier decks, and I was really glad to see this deck keep up with it. I really love the card Kellan joins up, and I've been really hoping to have a deck that could be successful with it, and I think that this shell is pretty solid. Comboing this with Cren is really amazing. I actually had the white flip spider as well, the Peter Parker card, and it just wasn't in any way as interesting as this card. This card is so good with Kellan joins up that you can build the deck just around this, so that's what I ended up doing. Ended up taking the Peter Parkers out entirely in lieu of like creatures that have flying or can get flying like Ademi and Makdi, and that's one of the reasons that Dion's in the deck, is that it just gives you creatures that can have flying on your turn to get through that last bit of damage and either draw extra cards or maybe just actually win the game. So I don't know that there's a whole lot of changes to be made to the deck, and they might need a little bit more removal. 8 pieces of removal might be a little light, but remember that the deck also technically has kind of interaction in the form of protection in 3 Ademis and 2 Zac Fairs. So it does have a little bit more interaction than just the destroy things like Seam Rip and Get Lost, and really frankly Get Lost is just so good in the format right now. This 2-mana spell does so much and really allows you to keep up with decks that you might not otherwise be able to. All in all, I think the deck is way better than it looks. If you've got some Kellan joins up sitting around and you happen to draft 4 Krens like I did, I would definitely encourage you to put this deck together and take it out for a spin. You could probably run it with whatever legends you wanted to and still have an enormous amount of fun with it. So that is all for this week. If you're still watching at this point, you are an excellent and admirable human being, just absolutely the best. Thank you so much for tuning in, and remember, take care of your head. Hey gang, thanks so much for tuning in. Click that subscribe button to support the channel, and check out the last standard video where we used a jackal to copy all of our best creatures.